Hello and welcome to the series of tutorials for Teleskola.mt directed to educators who will be using Teleskola.mt to submit material, lessons and activities on Teleskola. The Teleskola website is split up into three major functions. So basically the major one is the lesson finder. So the lesson finder is a three-step process on how to search for particular lessons. So let's say that just for the sake of an example, I'm looking for year 9 computing lessons. So the first step is to choose the schooling level. Obviously, since I'm looking for year 9, I have to choose secondary school. I press next. Now I have to select my year. So year 9. I press next. And then I choose the subject, which is year 9 computing. Here, the system will show me all the available lessons which I have for year 9 computing. So if I view the first one, the system takes me to what we call and what we will be referred to as the lesson profile. The lesson profile is made out of these major parts. The lesson title, a featured image which is not directly related to the lesson. The featured image is the same image that will show next to your lesson in the lesson list. If I go back to the lesson profile, then I will see the name of who contributed this lesson, obviously who actually submitted this lesson, in this case Marlene Galia, a reminder of what this lesson is for, and this obviously in this example is for year 9 computing, and how long this lesson should take if done at home. So in this case, it's 50 minutes. Then there is the short description, what we call the short description. So basically a short excerpt of what should be expected from this lesson if carried out. And then the bottom part is split into two main parts. The left part, what we refer to as the long description. So a very detailed description of how to carry out this lesson at home. In fact, this lesson has very detailed stepped directions which go from step 1 to step 6. And then on the right hand side are all the resources necessary to carry out this lesson at home. So basically this is again the featured image. Then I have any files which are associated with this lesson. Obviously in the video of how to submit a lesson, I will show you about the way of how to actually submit all this information. The last part of the lesson profile is actually a part where registered users, so users who are logged into Teleskola.mt, can actually comment or ask questions or discuss this particular lesson. In fact, one of the videos that we have planned in this tutorial is how to actually answer comments which are received from this part of the website. Do not worry, there is clerical stuff which is behind Teleskola.mt, which will moderate each and every comment before it starts showing online, obviously just as a filter for profanity and other misuse of the system. So this is the major or the core of the system, is this lesson profile. You have to remember this, as I said, the Teleskola was meant to be a place where there is uniformity of information. For example, if I go back to the home page and I search for a different lesson, in this case I'm going to search for year 7 science, for example. So I have to go to middle school, next, year 7, and in my case I want to see year 7 science. And I click finish. Again, I am shown the lesson list for that particular subject, which is year 7 science. In this case, there are currently 3 lessons. Obviously, when you view this or test it out yourselves, these would have changed. However, if I go to view one of the lessons, I realize that basically the lesson profile is the same as the other lesson that we were seeing. The nice thing about Teleskola is that all this layout and all this design is created automatically by the system. In the submit lesson video, you'll see that it is extremely easy to submit new lessons, resources, or activities to Teleskola just by filling one single form, and the system takes care of the rest. However, going back to the lesson profile, we see that again there is basically the same structure. So, lesson title, who contributed this lesson, in this case it's Nolan Harmsworth, who this lesson is for, so year 7 science, duration, short description, long description of how to carry out this lesson. On the right hand side, all the resources necessary to carry out this lesson, a featured video. Some lessons have a featured video, some lessons not. However, you can put videos and images and anything you like in the long description. And obviously at the bottom, we again find where registered users, logged in users can leave comments, questions or discussion points about this particular lesson. And obviously some share buttons and social buttons and so forth and so on. However, I am not going to go into detail on how to submit a lesson since that's a whole other video all by itself. Just to continue browsing through Teleskola to give you the major sections of the system, there is a support. We try to give a lot of importance on student support. So if you click on get support, there is a whole section about how to get support from the SPLD department. For example, it's one-click calls as easy as possible. It will open Skype for you if you have it downloaded. These are other links that offer support, which are NGOs in Malta which offer support, and how to use Skype. It is very important to know that everywhere an application is mentioned in Teleskola, in the same page there is how to use that application, how to download it, and so forth and so on. Then there is the educators section. The educators section can either be accessed from the menu or again from the home page. You just go to the educators section, which is over here. In the educators section, this is not a private part for educators that you need to register or log in to view it all. This is public information. And the first 3 buttons that you find on the educators section is how to join the Teleskola team and how to request teacher access, but those will go into more detail in other videos. There is also a small how to submit lesson, which this will be replaced by the video tutorials that we're doing. In fact, I'm already uploading and changing some help sections with direct video tutorials. Here you will also find some resources for educators on how to use major learning support tools. For example, again, talking about uniformity, if I go to Microsoft Teams here and I click the button to get the Microsoft Teams information, I will find the application profile, meaning it's a standard theme, which is information about the application that I'm viewing, where to actually get more information about the software, a PowerPoint presentation on how to use that software, where I can download it, and a short video of how to use that application. If I go back and I choose any other application, and this is throughout the Teleskola site, not only in the educators section, I will be presented exactly with the same style of information about, in this case, I clicked Class VR, so the information is about Class VR. It will start by the short description about the software and what it does, a PowerPoint presentation and where to download the software, and again, a short video resource of how to use that application. One of the major differences of Teleskola with other systems that we were using is a very, very heavy priority on uniformity of information and ease of use. So just to recap, the major parts for the Teleskola website are the support sections. Obviously, the crux of the system is the lesson finder, so you are not bombarded with information, and with 3 easy steps you can actually go and find the lessons for the subjects you are looking for, the students and educators team, and the last part that I want to show you is the just for fun section. Anything which is not directly part of any curricula has a place in the Just for Fun section. So the Just for Fun is shows initiatives for tasks, resources, and other things which obviously of an education in nature which can be done at home. Here there is the maths and Maltese initiatives and the science initiatives for Czech. There's a video of some physical education or physical activities that can be done at home. Some tasks and resources which are as obviously mentioned just for fun, and then there are some other open source resources which students can make part of. So that brings me to the end of the first video of this series of tutorials for Teleskola about as an overview of the system. And now in the second video we're going to actually go into how to request a teacher account so that you can have access to actually submit new material, lessons, tasks or activities on Teleskola. Thank you.